Hey, yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Hey, thanks for tuning in and welcome back. I am myself, and I, and Counter Battle on Malinovka in a WZ-121 FT, which is a Chinese premium Tier 8 TD. Clearly a Soviet design on the 122-44 or 54 kind of idea. You'll see that I have indulged in the goofy color paint scheme. It's the one tank I decided to do that on. I was just kind of curious how all that works, so I ended up painting this one a while ago. It's actually a pretty good little tank. You'll notice that the gun is actually the brown color. I did not realize I had left it brown, so once I played it once and saw it, I said, well, that's about as silly as you can get, so let's just leave it like that. We're on Malinovka, and I'm headed up to the hill. We have no artillery, pure Tier 8 game, and I'm going to play this super aggressive. I come up here in my big TD with decent armor, not amazing, but decent armor, and I want to get to that windmill, right? I want to get to that windmill first, so I am ahead of everyone, and unfortunately I run into a pretty fast tank with a lot of DPM, at least burst DPM, and he hits me, he tracks me. I'm trying to get a shot on him, I'm trying to get a reload. I know he's on a reload. He's not a traditional kind of autoloader. I take a wide turn, and that's a bit of a bummer because I give him my front sprocket. The good news is he's on his first shell reload, and that's going to require him to have a fairly long reload, but I'm going to eat another shot in here, and I'm in big trouble, right? I get hammered, and down I go to 41 hit points. So right off the bat, I charge up there, super aggressive. We get the guy dead, but I'm down to 41 hit points. So let's talk about that for a little bit, because that's just basically how I like to play most of the game. Now, that could have easily got me dead, probably should have, to be quite honest, and it was a bit of a YOLO kind of move. But what did it do for us? Well, it drugged this guy up so we can help take that guy down, and it stuffed those guys, and it's now going to allow this giant cloud of friends back here who have done what the cloud of friends typically do, get back on this back edge and play peekaboo with these guys' turrets. And the advantage on this is whoever takes this, who can then use these peekaboo guys back here, and the advantage of the little bit higher ground. Had they been able to come up here and secure it with the Progetto, which is exactly what he was trying to do, then the advantage is on them because they have both these guys keeping them honest and the ability to pop around this corner and hit guys over here. But now we have that advantage. And I just like it that way. That's a song, isn't it? So I come around, put a shot on this guy. The unfortunate part then, obviously, of losing nearly every hit point you have at the beginning is your flexibility is now limited. I am unable to trade shot for shot. I have to be very careful about where I come in and take shots. But my team has come up and now realized that they own the top. Was that the best move ever? Did it win the game? I think there's arguments for and against both of those. We end up doing a pretty good job up here. Could we have maybe taken the windmill anyway based on them being fairly passive? I don't know. Had he not died, they might have continued to push up and taken it. But if you're going to play aggressive, at least have a plan, right? And unapologetic. I actually like playing the game like that. I don't like sitting behind hold down places constantly anyway. I'll do it as required. And if you're farming damage in a good spot like that, yeah, that's a lot of fun. But initially, as far as positioning and gaining the critical terrain, somebody's got to do it, right? Somebody's got to do it. And there are very few players in the game who will be that player. Very few, to be quite honest. So I'll shift over here. And, you know, another negative of it is I'm not really useful for them up there. There's too many guns over there for me to try to pop over. I could try to use my friends' numbers as kind of a defense, meaning that they have a lot of different people to shoot at. But once you show up as a 41 hit point guy, somebody back there is going to be sitting around waiting for you to poke and take you down. So there needs to be some fewer guns over there before I go over. The other negative about what I did is it has essentially taken my gun out of the game for a considerable amount of time, and I'm relying on my team to do damage and not myself. So while I did help gain that position, I haven't done a whole lot with it since then. So those are all things to take into consideration when you're making moves like that. I think, had I to do it again, what I would have done is not, that goes right into his mallet, is not go after him as aggressively, grab that windmill, even if he's got some hit points there, and kind of anchor the windmill while my guys move up. I try to go after this guy's top turret, top little hatch thing, but I miss. I'm going to show you something here with the low. The low's going to turn his turret a little bit. Initially, I'm looking at his upper hole, and I'm thinking, nope, let's go over that little soft spot right there, especially as he's turned the turret a little bit and flattened it out for me. That's a fairly soft spot on the low, especially if he turns it like that. To get to his lower plate, I was going to have to expose a lot more of my tank to do that. And now we've won the top. This is another great example of players who just mindlessly move in the direction they were going. Look at all these guys coming off the hill right here. There's no real reason to come raging off the hill right now. They're all taking shots because they saw the Scorpion G. Otherwise, they'd still be moving down that hill. Why not go back and deal with, look at this, we got the T-26 and a Type way down the south. We have two guys right here on this ramp, kind of looking around. Now we got a Bat Chat raging around the middle, looking to spot, and I miss him. Down he goes though, so we got enough guns. That's good. So definitely pushing the advantage. It's 10-3. These guys are in big trouble. 10-5. All right, cool. So we'll get a damage here. We're going to zoom in, take that shot, and shoot it into space. Missed him. That's fine. He didn't spot me, so we'll come around here. There's several bushes along the edge of this hill right here that are good for what I'm doing here. Put another shot into him, and down he goes. Somehow I get the spotting damage, which kind of blew my mind. STA is still sitting there. We do have to be careful. Not one by any means. We're definitely in a good spot. But they've got a couple snipers back and a couple spotters. I'm waiting for him to light. I'm really hoping this guy will just come up and over and light this guy. There we go. But just can't quite get to him. He backs up. Unknown Tank 005 is going to eat it. Down he goes. STA-1 still spotting right there. Try to take a blind shot on him, but it's going to go into the ground. And he's right on the edge of my view, and what he actually ends up doing is he moves from right to left and goes over to the left side. People clicking there. Hey, we got to get rid of this guy. He's what's lighting all the dudes that are camping on the backside over there, and holy cow, he actually moved across, like I said, and there he is. He gets hit, he's in trouble. I'll drop one in there, and finally RNG guides my shell, goes into him. 2,500, 2,544. Blocked one. I mentioned the armor's pretty good, but I gave a lot of my side to those guys when I got tracked, so those are going to go right through. Very lightly armored on the side on this thing. A lot of sniping damage, so only 158 spotting or assist. That guy goes down. All right, so let's see if we can farm a little bit more damage here. Let it zoom in, let it zoom in. We'll take our shot and right over his turret. See if he gets lit again. I'm reloading anyway. There we go. Let's see. We'll put one into him. Take that shot. And right on. 462 brings me to 3,006, plus a little more assist damage based on the track, up to 358. 2 kills. Most of that done on 41 hit points. So, you know, I like playing the game that way. Obviously made a mistake getting a little too aggressive, but I think pushing up there and taking that spot is critical to winning this match right here. Unfortunately, I traded a bit too much, or a lot too much of my, way too much of my hit points to make it happen, but careful gameplay afterwards helps the team get where they need to be. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope you liked what you saw. Hope you learned something along the way. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we will see you.